Hey there! So today we have another review, and this is a beer that I have not had in forever. This is Brooklyn Black Ops, stout aged in 4 Roses small batch bourbon barrels. From what I understand, it should be black chocolate stout, but yeah, it should be, right? And then they finished it in champagne yeast for Black Ops. I don't know if they've done it here. Beer comes in at 12.4. This is brewed out of Utica, New York. So I don't know what facility. Oh, I guess they have an upstate facility. Yeah, they do. And this was, well, the can is all smudged, but I think it's somewhere around canned maybe a month. No, I don't know. I can't read that for hell. But yeah, 4 Roses. Yeah. So again, it's been 4 Roses small batch edition. Well, actually, they actually have to collaborate with the distillery to put down the distillery's name. If you do not ask a distillery to do that, they will come after you for that. So at least, yeah. They, obviously, distilleries care about their brands, and having their name on a product means a lot. So Goose Island does it. A few other breweries actually get to do it, but I guess Brooklyn Brewery gets to do it. So Black Ops haven't had it forever. Let's see how this big guy turns out. Yeah, it's been a really long time. Quite dark pouring out of the can. And then out in the glass, it's actually very dark. Yeah, quite nice. Not as dark as Bourbon County. Then again, Bourbon County just had yesterday. So really wonderful, like medium to medium plus tan head. Doesn't have some really intense sheeting on the glass. Definitely a small bolt. Carbonation on this one. Really looks more like a standard Imperial Stout. Didn't have the like very ridiculous appearance qualities that Bourbon County has. Have it slightly chill, I want to say that. Yeah, a little bit, yeah. At least for a stout like this. But Black Ops come back. That's really fun. Again, it's been a while since Past Guy. This is one of these OG beers that I was, trying out back in early in the day. Those big bombers of it, right? That is stinky. I definitely get a sense of diacetyl coming off here. I don't know what it's from, but... Or acetaldehyde? Is that acetaldehyde? What is it? Certainly an off flavor, and that is definitely acetaldehyde. So yeah, there you go. Something off flavor I've actually had when we were doing some of my beer classes a couple years ago. Very strong acetaldehyde heavied bourbon barrel aged stout, and yeah, I mean, how do you describe that guy? So definitely the beer's underneath, and you smell bourbon and chocolate, but up front it's this kind of like slightly solventy, slightly chemically kind of flavor. Again, people say green apple. It's really just raw, like gourd flesh that I get. It's just a very noticeable, and I would say for most palates, they probably might not pick this one out. Like just general drinkers, but I can immediately detect it, and yeah, it's just all fresh green. Green, not an apple. Again, it's green as in fresh gourd. Pumpkin. I mean, just jack-o'-lanterns, pumpkins. It's a very distinct note. So yeah, cheers. Underneath you certainly get some bourbon, some like chocolatey notes. For some reason, I also like. It's not the acetaldehyde. It's just acetaldehyde. And as you smell it more, it just gets dominated. And I probably have it a little too cold. If it was a little bit warmer, it might show off some more bourbon and beer notes, but I can get past it. So let's hope it tastes good. So the beer certainly tastes good. Yeah. I say that. So this is definitely one of those. I mean, I think I remember the beer tasting like this, but this is certainly one of those like beer bourbon kind of beers. Again, best example I would have closer that I've had is something like Sierra Nevada Narwhal, where again you have a really delicious Imperial Stout and you layered it with some bourbon character, and some of those characteristics interact quite well, and that's sort of like the layering of the process. You don't have something that's like a fully integrated intense beer like Bourbon County. You certainly taste the elements of, hey, I have an Imperial Stout here, I also have some bourbon character here up front. Get that smooth, woody taste. It's definitely the bourbon character. There's this light kind of brown sugar flavor. The Imperial Stout is not that intense and roasty. It's got a little bit of light bitterness on the back end. I get a little bit of tobacco, a little bit of espresso notes. The mid palate is slightly empty for me. For 12.4, this beer is very thin, I want to say. In general, the mouthfeel feels medium at best. It is also quite boozy on the way down. It shows us alcohol. So 12.4, it is what it is. I think all beers will show it on the way down. I just find the beer generally flat in flavor. I think some of that is being stripped away by the acetaldehyde. I smell it, I taste it. It's just like this vegetal quality that's sort of like taking away from the intense dark notes that the stout is offering, and then maybe interacting with the tertiary vanilla, wood, tannin, drier notes that the barrel is offering. So all of that is slightly covered up by the off flavor of the acetaldehyde. Is it bad? No. I've had definitely much more offensive off flavors, especially in some weird beers like, the acetal, or especially a lot of New England IPAs with their kind of chalky, dry kind of intense thing. This sort of hits that, but it's not as bad because you do have just like a lot of impact of roasted malts, alcohol, bourbon sort of covered up. Like, so it's hard, no matter how much off flavor you push into a beer, you still have so much impact to sort of like cover it up. Beer in general is just bland. Yeah. Not, again, for a style that is looking for so much impact and to do, it really drinks as a really boozy kind of like foreign, like a foreign export stout or something like that, or some weird version of a tropical stout. It just doesn't have, I mean, it definitely has the bourbon qualities, but it just like doesn't have the what I'm looking for, right? It has like a really nice kind of like creamy sugar thing where it comes off almost like a Dunkin' Donuts kind of like cream sugar kind of thing. So there is definitely some nice qualities to this beer. So it might be that it's a little cold, but again, I will say that off flavor does show itself, especially once you get it on the nose, and then it's hard to miss it. On palate, you can try to. It cleans up a little bit, but I still embarrassingly skinny, thin, and it's like meh, Let's go with I generally really like the style. 82. That is Brooklyn Black Ops. Wow. Again, one of those OG classics, one of the beers that I was like, oh, wow, what a really highly rated beer. I remember, was it Top Hops in East Village? Let's go there, let's grab some. And just in can, and what's tasting here? Until next time, guys.